Hello, my name is Kristan Weisdack, as you know, the CEO and founder of BehaviorWorx of Southwestern PA. Today I have with me Abby Keckler, and I interviewed her mom last week. She is an OT that's worked in early intervention for 20 plus years, and we have the opportunity to work together. But I wanted to interview you today, Abby, to get kind of the perspective of a kid that is kind of in the trenches, that you have to deal with this every day now. How old were you when you found out you had to be gluten-free?
It was like right before I turned 12.
Okay. So
So
go ahead, tell us about that.
I was gonna say it was like just over 4 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah.
So what are some of the big changes that you've had to make? Like, let's talk about like when you go to a friend's house, what does that look like for you?
Um, it's like one of the two. It's either I bring food or I don't have food, if that makes sense. Like it's just like sometimes some of my friends have gluten-free options, or just I'm lucky and they have gluten-free food, or like I have to bring my own if I go to a friend's house where I like know they don't have any gluten-free food.
Mm. So what are some common, so I'm doing this for selfish reasons too, because my daughter is about to go on a camping trip with her friends for the weekend. So tell me a list of like some good snacks that you take with you.
Um, Always pretzels. Pretzels are like the best. Um, Probably like I do a lot of granola bars personally because I like granola bars.
Mhm.
Um, like fruits and vegetables because not like everybody has fruits and vegetables. Um, I like bagels. Aldi has really good bagels.
Yep, live G free. We love them.
Mhm. And then like depending on how long I'm there, like cereal or just chips, microwave popcorn's always pretty nice too.
So what are some of your cereals? Because we've had like Cheerios and Chex. What are some other good gluten-free cereals?
Lucky Charms, that's pretty good. If you get the not the off-brand but the real Captain Crunch, it's good.
Hmm,
So that's my favorite cereal.
nice. So Lucky Charms, Captain Crunch, and we've used the Chex and then the Cheerios. Okay. So we have gluten-free pretzels, granola bars, fruits and veggies, which I want to come back to. Bagels, cereal, microwave popcorn. So the fruits and veggies, that's one thing to point out, that like you don't have to really relabel sometimes to be gluten-free, dairy-free. So what are some of the other options you keep in your house? Like
That are just naturally gluten-free.
yeah.
Um, like milk. I don't know.
Well, yeah, yeah. So like things like that. So let me talk about that too. Are you dairy-free as well?
I probably should be, but I don't really listen to it that much.
Yeah, yeah, I have that too, and my body tells me when I don't like it so much. So
Yeah, that's
your
what mine
fruits and
does too.
veggies. So, like, what are some of your favorite fruits?
My favorite fruits. I like strawberries and grapes, raspberries. Yeah, those are like my favorite fruits.
Okay. And listen, I'm going to do this for you too, so to hopefully some of your friends are watching this, right? That they see it. And they can start stocking up, maybe. So, what are some of the veggies that you like?
I like celery, and that's about it. Carrots sometimes.
Celery and carrots. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk. That's one thing, like going over to your friend's house and spending the night. But what about going to a restaurant? So what's it like being gluten-free and trying to go out to restaurants?
Sometimes it sucks, honestly, because you don't want to be like everybody will agree on this has happened so many times. Everybody will agree on one restaurant, and I have to be like, oh, I can't go there. And it's just like awkward. Or like the worst, I'll like go and like just kind of like sit there, drink water, and it's just like, oh, okay.
Hmm. So what are some restaurants that you have been able to eat at?
The most surprising one's the best restaurant I think I've eaten at so far is Donna's Diner in Sharon. That's pretty good.
Donna's Diner.
It's pretty good. Eaton Park has amazing buns.
Mhm.
Chipotle is always like, or Hotheads, whichever your preference. Those are two that are super easy to go to with my friends because we all can like agree on it. Yeah.
What about pizza for you? Are there any good places that you eat pizza?
We have one like right in Middlesex, Marshallone's. Best, yeah. It's so good. The crust is nice and like they cook it on like a separate pan so it's not cross-contaminated.
Yeah, and that's why I was talking to some managers at Eaton Park the other day, and I think that's the biggest issue because you want to make sure that the gluten isn't getting in with other stuff. And so
Yeah,
that
and that's sometimes like one of the hard things is whenever it's like may contain or like might be cross-contaminated and it's just like, oh boy.
Mhm.
So somewhere like a burger place and they're like, well, the buns have touched the grill, we'll clean it off, and like they're like, but we can't promise anything. And sometimes it's like, okay, like whatever, I'm getting it, I really want a burger, or it's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So that's like a hard decision to weigh.
So when you eat, because you have true celiac disease, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when you eat celiac? What happens when you eat gluten?
I get really tired and my joints hurt really bad and my stomach like hurts, and it's all depending on how much I eat. Like if I just got like cross contamination, I'll just be like super tired, or like if I full on like ate a pizza, I would like not be able to move.
And how long does that last for when you have those problems?
I mean, if it's right before I go to bed, then I'm like fine when I wake up in the morning. I might be like a little like creaky, but other than that, or like if it's throughout the day, I just take ibuprofen, so I really don't know.
Yeah.
I normally sleep it off if it happens.
Hmm. Do you in your family find that there are more and more restaurants that are starting to become gluten-free, or has it been like the same number of restaurants that have always had those?
Never in a million years would I think that I would just get to go out and get like a big, nice burger. Like, oh, it's so nice. I know like 3 places. They're amazing. Oh, I never thought it'd happen.
So let's say that we did a public service announcement. What restaurants would you love to eat out at if they had gluten-free stuff?
Hmm.
Because I think for my daughter, it would be like Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A has gluten-free buns.
Oh, that's right, they
They're
do.
amazing.
But yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think I couldn't pick like a specific restaurant, but there's like specific foods that I wish were gluten-free.
Okay, yeah, what are those?
I really want chicken tenders from somewhere,
Mm.
or like like a thick crust pizza. Yeah, those are
That's
two.
the one thing that we have Domino's by us, and they have like the thin, crunchy crust. I hear you there. Like a good, like not New York style thick, but like just something that's like a
Yeah.
regular
Like you can
pizza.
like bite into it, and it's like you like really bite into it. Yeah,
And you don't
that's
have crumbs all over you by the time that you're done because it's just real thin and crumbly.
yeah.
So let's talk the one last thing about the holidays. So whenever you guys make dinner at your house, but then you guys probably, make a gluten-free, celiac-free friendly meal at your house. But then what about whenever you go to travel to relatives' houses? Are they okay with that? Do they make stuff or do you guys take stuff?
It's like a mixture of both. Like somewhere like my grandma's house, she like tries really hard to like accommodate to it, and it's just like they eat like hearty meals, so it's like a little difficult, but she tries really hard. And then like on my dad's side of the family, like his sister, they have like great food and most of it's gluten free, so it was like awesome. And I like it there too. Like my Aunt Joy's house, it's awesome.
Oh, good. Good. Kudos to Aunt Joy for trying, right? Because
Yeah.
I don't think, and some people, honestly, it makes my job a little bit easier to talk to people like you because you help other people understand that this is real. because honestly, some people don't believe in celiac disease being a real thing, or gluten-free, dairy-free, all this nutrition. So talk about some of the problems that you had before you realized this was an issue.
Like before I was diagnosed.
Yeah.
I think my mom like always talks about one comment I made. It was like I stood up and I was like, wow, I feel like grandpa right now. And they like tested me for like juvenile arthritis, I think, and like all sorts of stuff, because it was like I was having like weird symptoms for a 12-year-old. And then like all of a sudden they were like, oh, let's just run a celiac panel, because none of the symptoms were like celiac symptoms. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's all about finding the right doctor and getting people to listen to you and really figuring out what works for you. Well, you've got a great mom, and sometimes we probably seem like a pain in the butt. I know that my kids and my husband think that, but you've got an awesome mom that's there to help you out. So
Yeah.
good. Well, hopefully we'll get more restaurants to listen, and hopefully some of your friends see this and can have more fruits and veggies for you, some gluten-free snacks. I mean, it doesn't take much, right? So like you said, shopping at Aldi's, like buying gluten-free pretzels or gluten-free bagels, like just grabbing something a little bit different. And hey, they might even have these problems, they don't even realize it.
I tell that to my friends. I'm like, you should go gluten-free.
Yeah. So for more information, you can go to celiac.org, like I talked about with your mom. You can also go to BehaviorWorx of Southwestern Pa.com, and we have a self-care section where we talk about gluten-free, dairy-free, what is gluten, what is casein, which is a milk protein, and some symptoms that you might be allergic to it. So really having that understanding. I mean, hopefully you'll convert some of your friends too that they don't even know it, right? They might be extra tired or extra. I know when I eat gluten, I get a little bit cranky.
Yeah, irritable. I feel that
A
too.
little bit. Yeah, and I just want people to kind of like leave me alone and give me my own space if I've had gluten like the night before. And my son, sometimes he'll get to where he's like, he has kind of like OCD behaviors. And so he just wants everything a certain way and repetition. And so there's behavioral stuff that can happen from it too. So thank you for taking the time to make people more aware of this. And hopefully we can kind of bring more awareness to it in general and get kids to be more understanding, parents to be more understanding, and hopefully we can get some more gluten-free products in the restaurants so that we can have a better dining experience in general. So yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Abby. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.